5 years ago, the Formula One banned grid girls from taking part in their event because it no longer fit in with societal norms. This year, however, the Formula One was excited to announce that there was a number of men dressed up as sexy women taking part in multiple drag shows in the entertainment sector all throughout the week. My question, and the thing I want to look at today is there a double standard? Should there be any controversy, or has the world gone completely nuts? No pun intended. Well, as it is every single year, the Formula One for 2023 is back in Melbourne. And quite quickly, we heard about a number of controversies taking place because, as we've just said, the Formula One was excited to launch its drag week of entertainment, where when you get inside the gates to go and watch your cars, you're treated not just to fast cars, but also to men dressed up as sexy women performing sexy dances all throughout the week. Now, the thing that we want to look at today is there any double standard? Is there any controversy? And does the statements of Formula One from just a few years ago hold up to the actions that we're seeing today? Because don't forget, Formula One took a pretty strong stance on the sexualization of women, but this year seems to have taken it to a new level when it comes to what's acceptable and what's not when you go to watch some fast cars race. In 2018, Steve Bratches, who was the Formula One's managing director of commercial operations, said, "We feel this custom of grid girls does not resonate with our brand values and clearly is at odds with modern day societal norms." How quickly things seem to change. And is there any double standard? The two things I think which have brought the most controversy is, first of all, a number of women are pissed off because they loved their jobs as grid girls back in the day, and they're not allowed to do it now because some bulky men dressed up as sexy women have taken the opportunity to do their work better. The second thing is, are kids being exposed to this kind of stuff unnecessarily? I mean, we've seen a pretty strong push from the drag community in recent years to make sure that what they're doing is completely normal. Now, before I go any further, I've got to say, I'm a 36-year-old man and do comedy and perform alongside a whole heap of drag queens. I don't care. I quite like it, as a matter of fact. I'm friends with a number of them. And here's the thing, sometimes after a show, I'll have a chat to them and I go, "You're actually a quite attractive woman. I'm very, very confused." But as I said, I'm 36, I'm married, I've got 2 kids. I feel like I've had time to navigate some of the questions that might be raised in me. But here is the question. When is too young for a kid to be exposed to this kind of stuff? They're the two things we want to get to the bottom of in this little video today. Well, one of the things I think we forget when it comes to looking after women and looking out for women, which I have no doubt that Steve Bratches and the Formula One were doing back in 2018 when they said that this kind of behavior of grid girls no longer fits in with societal norms and is not going to be taking place as a central point of our Formula One, is the fact that a number of the women had an issue with it. What? Nice and easy to paint a broad stroke of a brush and say, hey, society is not tolerant of this kind of stuff anymore. A number of the women were going, hang on a second, I bloody love this job. No one's forcing me to do it. I'm getting paid really well. I enjoy the sunlight. I enjoy the atmosphere. I get some nice attention and my bank balance looks bloody fantastic at the end of it. Here's some tweets from a number of girls who lost their jobs back in 2018 when the Formula One made the executive decision to get rid of them. Lucy Stokes tweeted, "I love my job. I'm respected, paid well and proud to represent the team I'm working for. It's not right that anyone, let alone feminists, to judge our job when, quite frankly, they're putting so many women out of work. Where is the equality and empowerment here?" Rebecca Cooper said, "Scantily clad furniture, sexualizing women, provocative. I'd never let my daughter wear a grid girl outfit." Just some of today's comments. Yet people clearly haven't done their research, as these are my outfits from my 5 years at Formula One. Alright, so it's very easy to get an idea of what is actually taking place in our minds and accuse these women of being scantily clad or dressed inappropriately or not really living up to the norms of what our modern day society accepts. But then you see some photos, you see some facts, you see some of the realities and some of the losses that these women take as a result of losing their job, and you go, hang on a second, is this right? The answer on many fronts is obviously quite complex, and depending on what side of the fence you sit on is going to dictate the way that you perceive it. But based on what we're actually hearing from a number of these girls is no one was forcing them to do it. They wanted to be there. They were volunteering. Better than that, they were getting well paid for the role that they had. And in the name of equality, these feminists were saying this is just not something that women should be doing to themselves. However, those same feminists in 2023 are fighting for the right for men to dress up as these scantily clad women and do sexy little dances all throughout the week of entertainment. This is where the issue gets a little bit confusing because obviously there's a number of issues going on here. We've got people saying that it's demoralizing and disrespectful to women, and then we've got families saying, hang on a second, I'm just trying to take my little boy Billy out to go and watch some fast cars race, and he's come home asking about who that sexy man dressed as a sexy woman was, and he can't stop talking about it, and now he's confused. And this is the thing. As I said, personally, no issue whatsoever with drag queens. My issue or confusion comes around what we should be exposing young kids to. I've got 2 of them. Personally, I'm pretty cautious about what my kids watch on YouTube. If some chick came up in a G-string, a crop top, and some lycra, I go, hey buddy, you're 2.5, wait till you're 6. That was a joke. The truth is, we've always looked out for kids. It's the reason that if you're old enough to have gone to a video shop back in the day, the videos that we would select had certain ratings on it. If it was a G movie, hey, it's probably going to be good for your kids. You don't need to be around. If it's an R-rated movie, hey, there's probably going to be some boobies, some violence, maybe a little bit of murder. Back off. Let's save that for a little while. To hear from the other side of the fence, let's hear about some people defending the right to have cabaret dancers and drag queens performing in front of parents and infants justify why it is that they needed to do this. Cabaret organisers have defended their show after video of scantily clad drag artists dancing for parents and infants. Weird sentence, isn't it? I mean, we're living in 2023. You've got drags dancing for parents and infants. Oh, I hope that little fetus loves it. Prompted furious viewers to call for the act to be banned. Footage was taken at a show by Cubba Bubba Rave, so named for being Cabaret Baby Rave Experience. I mean, I didn't have my first rave till I was in year 7. Now all of a sudden infants are getting exposed to it. They're getting well and truly ahead of the curve. And shows mum clapping along with their babies, an entertainer in thigh-high boots swings from a harness, and another performs acrobats and struts around in a G-string. Now, the truth is, if there was any actor in my house strutting around in a G-string in front of my kids, I'd go, hang on a second, mate, you reckon you could just chuck some pants on? My kid's looking at you very confused. He's only 2.5. I don't let him watch that on YouTube. How'd you get into my house as well, by the way? So, here is the question. Should we continue the trend that we've had for as long as I can remember personally of looking out for the welfare and the malleability of the children that we're raising? Or is it time to get in touch with 2023 and expose your kids to quite highly sexualized men dressing as quite highly sexualized women? That is the controversy. That is the conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more of these videos, we've got more coming out every single week. I say we, it's just me. Hit subscribe if you want. Apart from that, let's continue the conversation down in the comments below.